and enjoying it. And then it becomes high comedy.
I mean,
because it's so good. That was so good. That was so good. If you put that in a movie, people wouldn't buy it.
I know.
They would go, "Come on, no, that's not real. No one would do that. This is stupid. I've lost my disbelief."
F you. He's going to tell his own audience, F you, if you don't believe Joe Biden's not the man.
Yeah, if I was in a movie theater, my suspension of disbelief would go, "Oh, come on. This is..."
That's why I was confused when I was looking. There's other videos I'm seeing that might have been a different time, and
No.
That was just a few weeks ago.
I know, but this is saying right here, post a debate, and he's saying like they should replace.
After the debate, he changed his tune. That's part of the thing.
Okay.
So that was right before the. That was like weeks before.
After. Okay.
No, that was weeks before the debate. He's saying that. I'm like, can you believe the balls on these
crazy
people?
balls? And so then after the debate, he does this 180, and there's all these videos that show him before and after. So the greatest 180 turnaround of all time.
So if you go to the one up there with the black and white Joe, and then
that's the one.
Show that. It's only 30 seconds. Watch this.
But I undersold him when I said he was cogent.
Cogent.
He's far beyond cogent.
Oh, In
fact, I think he's better than he's ever been. This is a battle for the future of American democracy. And now is a good time. In June, thank God. In June, and not October, in June, this is the last chance for Democrats to decide whether this man we've known and loved for a very long time is up to the task.
So that's just a matter of weeks in between those two Joes.
Yeah.
F you. And I wouldn't say it if it wasn't the truth. Okay, now we can, thank God we can replace them. But well, I have a theory about this, by the way.
Okay.
So they've never done presidential debates this early in the election season before, right? And so my theory is that his own team sabotaged him. They knew this. So they wanted to get Joe Biden through the primary because now all the delegates are beholden to Joe Biden, means they're beholden to the Democratic Party donor class, right?
Yes.
So there isn't no 50% Bernie Sanders delegates out there, right? They're not going to have any trouble getting them to all coalesce at the convention and pick a new person. So they wanted to get Joe Biden to go through, and then as soon as he got through the thing, they're like, oh, let's have a debate. And then they knew he would look like this, so then they can have enough time to get rid of him. That seems pretty plausible that that's what's going to happen. And guess what's going to happen now? So they're going to have a person at the top of the ticket who nobody voted for because they're going to choose them at the convention, and nobody voted for this person, and they're saying democracy's on the ballot. That's the irony.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but what did they do to keep RFK Jr. out of the primaries to the point where he had to go independent?
So, yeah, they were making it impossible for him to get on ballots. How do they do that? You know what? He told me, but I can't remember. But they were making it. Well, when I remember the first time I had him on my show, it was like a joke. I'm like, dude, you're running as a Democrat. I go, why do you think they have superdelegates? They have superdelegates for people like you. It's not going to happen. I can't get excited about your candidacy. And so anything he said, I just didn't get into it, right? I was appreciative of the stuff he was saying around COVID and things like that. But it was just, I told him it's a fool's errand, right? And he's like, I'm a Democrat. I've always been a Democrat. I'm a Democrat. And I'm like, yeah, the Democrats are going to screw you. And they did. And so I don't know exactly how, but it got so untenable that he couldn't run inside because they would have these different rules that they were just making up just to screw him. So
now,
then
they do this once there's an incumbent, right? Once there's a president in place, do they do this because there's so many jobs that are completely dependent upon that guy being in office? Not just the Democratic Party, but that guy. So if a new guy comes in, like if RFK Jr. comes in, if he wins, then everyone's out of a job.
Oh, yeah. Well,
the whole machine's out of a job. So it's very clear watching Joe Biden talk, very clear, that he's not making all his decisions, and someone writes his stuff down. We've seen the cue cards that he has. They tell him what to say. We see him read teleprompters and say, end of quote. You know, he says things like that. He just did it again. Does it all the time. So we know that there's no fucking way he's the man behind the machine. So that means there's a bunch of people that work for him that are essentially running the country.
Right.
And those people don't want to lose that position, including his wife. His wife apparently... by all takes, and she did an interview afterwards where she said he's smarter than he's ever been, and I know him, I see him buying clothes. She doesn't want him to stop.
Pure evil.
What is that? What do you think?
That's just pure evil. I mean,
do you think it's just like a power thing? She's in power. She doesn't want to not be the first lady anymore. Like, what is it?
Yeah, of course. That's what I think it is. Well, how could you not have compassion for your own frickin' husband. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, he should have had his keys taken away years ago.
Yeah.
And here she is trying. And you did a good job. You answered all the questions.
Crazy.
That's how you talk to a 3-year-old. He answered all the questions. I could see answering 1 or 2, but all of them?
If my wife talked to me like that, I would just start laughing because I'd think, oh, she's fucking with me. I wouldn't just stand there.
Yeah,
and
but you wouldn't be saying,
yes, I did. It's a wild video. Play that video. Play that video of Jill saying that to Joe because I saved it.
And by the way, I listened to the debate again on the plane.
Why? You fucking get the pertinent information from round 1? You're like, I need to go over this with a fine-tooth comb.
Because they kept saying that, because the line now is that Joe might not have answered the questions, like quickly or loudly, but he was telling the truth. His first answer, he lied 3 times. Joe Biden. He lied about the Medicare's. It's $2,000. He said it was $200. He lied about the diabetes, and he lied about Trump saying the bleach thing. Trump never said the bleach thing. He was talking about ultraviolet irradiation, which is a real thing that actually works.
It actually works, and not only that, they've used it for decades.
But
and there was talk about using it for respiratory diseases and shining light into the lungs.
I've talked to a doctor who told me that. That worked well, and so the people like the medical association, they came to him. They go, "Hey, you have to sell this technology to us," and he said no. And they go, "Well, if you don't, we're going to have a bullshit study that says this doesn't work." And that's exactly what they did.
Wow!
And they do that to everything.
Let's play this real quick.
You did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts.
Bro.
And let me ask the crowd.
Look at him standing there.
What did Trump do? Lie!
Oh, bro, he looks so baffled. First of all, if I was in his corner, first thing I would have done is given him a hairpiece. Let's go, bro. I wish you can't compete with Trump's wacky hair. You need fake hair. You need fully fake hair. I think they'll buy it. Don't even sweat it. We're gonna glue a nice piece on you. You're gonna have a distinguished head of hair. Second of all, whoever the fuck is giving your Botox, back off a little. Let the guy move the forehead a little bit. This is ridiculous. You're not tricking me into thinking he's young. I know exactly how old he is.